Welcome to the Savannah Storytellers channel where we give you the best African talks, love stories, folklore, and more. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We appreciate your support. Now back to the story. This is a work of fiction. Unless otherwise indicated, all the names, characters, businesses, places, events, and incidents in this story are either the product of the author's imagination or used in a fictitious manner. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, or actual events is purely coincidental. In the city of Benin in the late 80s, there lived a young man named Steve born into a struggling family caught in the web of poverty. Steve grew up with an aspiration of becoming wealthy by any means necessary. His mother's efforts in guiding him to the right path proved abortive and infertile. His love for quick buck had the best of him, pushing him farther to bad influences on the streets of the ancient city. Steve's transformation slowly grew, and his influence in the city street life became more visible. It began with petty theft and usurping from people and pickpockets, but later turned into a hardened criminal. Local gangs admired his ability to steal without getting caught in the act. In love with the get-rich-fast scheme, he found himself on the fast lane. Breezing the fire of his lustful desires, he joined a gang of robbers. In the crime world, he found solace and hope on the highway that led to destruction. His gang ruled the streets of the city, parading themselves as outlaws from the underworld and robbing people of their possessions forcefully. Sometimes luck ran out of some people. They either had them killed or severely injured. Known for his ruthless efficiency and a healthy appetite for violence, Steve quickly gained his spot in the street, becoming a terror to the people of the city and beyond. His menacing publicity grew much more popular because of the bank heist and constant intermediation the gang gave the police force and the general public. The people's voices echoed in unity to the government, stating they feared for their lives under the epileptic security situation in the city and pushing the government to bring the gang to justice. One stiflingly humid evening, Steve and his gang went on a mission to rob a wealthy businessman in the most daring attack ever. The shadows concealed a grim secret. Their carefully mapped plans and contingency moves were leaked out to the police investigating team. Every crafted plan was studied under scrutiny by the police department. The tip-off by the whistleblowers had paid off wonderfully, giving the police more insight to cover. At the targeted house at silent night. The heavy silence of the night whispered terror. A night the trees went to sleep and the air froze over. They breached the security gate, scaling through its fence to the compound. Steve's heart beat more than usual, for he felt a bad omen at the mission. A blinding spotlight appeared on their dark activities. They saw themselves faced with multiple torchlights in the courtyard. A commanding voice shattered the silence, amplified by a booming megaphone. "Drop your weapons and surrender. You have been surrounded by the police. Drop your weapon now." The voice instructed, threatening to shoot. The mission had failed, and the options of death or prison were to be made in a split second. The voice of Officer Jiwa hammered for total surrender by the gang or faced off with gun battle. The adrenaline rush from Steve reeled his thoughts of his mother warning him of the dangers that came with stealing. His blood ran through his veins. His gaze darted to his comrades in the displeasing revelation that unfolded in their utter dismay. Officer Jiwa is an audacious police officer known for his relentless pursuit of justice and a secure environment. A terror to criminals, he was a super cop known for tracking down criminals and bringing them to the book of law. "Slowly move away from the building and lie down, hands where we can see them." Johnson's voice echoed with uncompromising authority. Steve's mind raced. Their carefully laid plans had unraveled with devastating swiftness. Amid the blinding glare of the spotlight, he realized their meticulous preparation had failed to anticipate this ambush. "Listen to him, everyone," Steve muttered urgently, attempting to maintain composure amidst growing pressure. "Let's cooperate." The love of life made the gang members surrender their weapons, lowering themselves to the ground under the eyes and command of the officer. They kept themselves visible with no interior motive of escape attempts. Steve understood the odds were against them and that luck had traveled far from them. Pushing beyond the battle line, he deliberately assessed his dwindling options to make swift escape plans, even though it looked futile, for they were outnumbered by the police team. Ensnared by the grip of law staring deep in the eyes, The realization of the consequences of their action played in Steve's eyes in a flash. The night had promised riches in foreign currency but turned out differently with the police on the highway, which led to death. His thoughts of having handcuffs clicked around his wrist locked behind bars had him thought of running. Directed by the breeze of death fanning smoke of destruction, Steve took up his gun hoping to shoot his way out of gunpoint. The ambitious heist had culminated not in triumph, but in a stark reckoning of consequences, a testament to the fleeting allure and ultimate cost of reckless abandon of morality. Steve's instinct to resist arrest made him take up his gun and fire bullets at the police officers while he tried to escape through the back, running in chaos hoping to scale through the fence. Gunshots echoed, and Steve found himself cornered. His mind raced, searching for an escape route, but there was none. Realizing he was trapped, Steve raised his gun. That moment, time seemed to stand still. Memories of his childhood flashed before his eyes, the laughter of his siblings, the warmth of his mother's embrace, the advice his late father gave him. Too late. With a final, defiant glare, Steve brought down his gun hoping to shoot again. The police responded in kind, and a barrage of bullets tore through his body, inflicting holes of destruction. Crumpled to the ground, his body went lifeless in a pool of his blood, bowed to the sound of death. Carefully, the police examined his dead body before putting his remains behind the trunk of their van. The people found out about his death and the arrest of his gang member and went on celebrating the breaking of a new dawn. A new era of peace and security without fear of getting robbed. Steve's story would soon become a cautionary tale and a stark reminder of the peril of a life of crime. In the days that followed, his mother wept for the son she had lost to the streets, her heavy heart grief in regret. And the people of Benin went on to live in their daily hustle and continued to strive for a better future, hoping that the next generation would choose a different path. Moral of the story. The moral of the story is that a life driven by greed and crime, no matter how tempting the allure of quick wealth, ultimately leads to destruction and sorrow. The pursuit of riches through immoral means may bring temporary gains, but it comes with devastating consequences. In the end, true peace and security come from living an honest life, while the path of crime only leads to regret, loss, and a legacy of cautionary tales for others to learn from. If you like this story, kindly like this video and subscribe to our channel. We'd like to hear from you. Drop a comment on what you think about this story. See you next time.